ever get the least. Give them the best, and they'll thank you in the years ahead. That I can promise you. Now, the next technique is, again, and I keep saying this because I love this business. I hope you feel my intensity. The similar situation closing technique is one that I think Card Service International people can just have a ball with. What's similar situation closing? It's relating a story about someone else, some other business, that's in the same position this merchant is in now. Now, this other person went ahead, and today they are so happy they did. See, I know it just makes sense, doesn't it? Now, there's also the negative. There can be people who didn't go ahead, who called you 6 months later, and after they got into the system, were so regretful they didn't do it sooner. You see? Start gathering similar situations. Let's say hypothetically that you walk into a small business and the merchant has said, oh, you're with Card Service International. I'm sorry, I don't have any time for this. A week later, you're installing and training their people. You want to remember that because you want to tell the next person. You know, John, I had a person, gosh, he was so strong when I first walked in. He didn't even want to listen to me. A week later, we installed his equipment. We got him involved in all of our services. He is so thrilled. He talked to me. He says, Tom, thank you for refusing to take no from me. And that's what I want you to realize. You're going to thank us for helping you say yes. Okay? Learn that, all right? Now, the next technique is called the competitive edge close. This is another wonderful presentation. Now, the way this one works is you want to make them be afraid of their competition getting ahead of them. And most companies are afraid of becoming second or third or falling behind. See, people want to keep up with the Joneses. This is a human nature trait in our country. Here's the way the presentation goes. Ready? Now let's pretend Carol is right across the counter from me. Ready? Carol, please realize that many of your competitors are facing the same challenges today that you are. Isn't it interesting that when an entire industry is fighting the same forces, some companies do a better job of meeting those challenges than others? You see, my entire objective here today has been to provide you with a method of gaining a competitive edge. And will you agree with me that gaining edges, large or small, is how you can make yours one of those few companies in your industry that is doing a better job? And that's what you'd like, isn't it? Gosh, I hope you'll work on that one. That's another dandy. Now, this next one is called the economic truth close. Now, I have had people in your type of business that they've made the economic truth close one of their very favorites. Now, here's how it goes, again, across the counter. John, it's not always wise to guide our buying decisions by the investment alone. See, it's never recommended to invest too much for something. However, investing too little has its drawbacks as well. By spending too much, you lose a little money, but that's all. By investing too little, you risk more because the service you've purchased will not give you the satisfaction that you're expecting. See, it's an economic truth that it's seldom possible to get the most by spending the least. In considering doing business with the least expensive provider, it might be wise to add a little to your investment to cover the risk you're taking. If you agree with me on this point and are willing and able to invest a little more, why not let me offer you the very best service in the transaction processing industry? Because the inconvenience of poor service are difficult to forget. Don't you agree? That's a wonderful presentation. I so hope that you'll practice that you'll rehearse that. This last technique may not at this point in your career be for all of you. I say that because we mature as we stay in the business and we get a little stronger, more confident. And I will say, though, that if you've done all I've taught you and they're still not going ahead and they are qualified, you must at this point say, I have nothing to lose. I might as well try one more technique. Don't you agree? This next one is an advanced closing technique. It is called the lost sale close. What it involves is actually acting like you've lost it and you're leaving. See, it might go like this. They finally say to you, Tom, we just don't feel we should do this, and we really appreciate all you've done, but we just can't. And then you just say to them, well, pardon me, John, before I leave then, may I just apologize for not doing my job today. You see, if I have not been inept, I would have said the things necessary to convince you of the value of what we can offer you with Card Service International. Because I didn't, you and your company will not be enjoying the benefits, the increased profitability, the service, and believe me, I'm truly sorry. John, I really believe in what I do and the benefits my service can bring to your business. And yes, I earn a living helping people get involved with us so that I don't make the same mistake again. Will you please tell me what I did or what I said wrong? It will really help me. Do you know what's amazing? If you will humble yourself, if you will ask them to tell you what you did wrong, oftentimes you'll be amazed how they'll say things like, well, Tom, it wasn't you, and you didn't say anything wrong. You know, I'm really not sure why I'm not going ahead. Maybe we should. Well, of course you should. I knew you'd see that eventually. Wonderful. And now go back to your paperwork, all right? Now listen carefully to me. We covered an awful lot of material in this session. You have in this one program so many words and phrases that can be life-changing as far as your income, as far as your future. I've always been amazed, though, about some salespeople. Gosh, I talk to salespeople who are earning an average income, and I ask how often they study, they practice, they drill, they rehearse. How often do you sit in front of a mirror and give your presentation? And they laugh. I ask them, how often at night do you sit down alone and read and rehearse what you're going to say tomorrow? And some of them kind of laugh. Are you aware that any of you that graduated from high school, you took books and went home at night, you studied algebra, calculus, trigonometry, some of you? How many of you do not make a living with algebra and calculus today? Let me see your hands. Yet you studied so hard to pass an exam to avoid an F to impress your parents. What we're giving you is material that will impress everybody because of your income. And I promise you, this is a commitment I make to you. If you master these closes, I look so forward to seeing your name in the sales exchange as one of the top 10 sales reps for Card Service International. Don't deny yourself that opportunity.